Good morning, good afternoon, evening, whatever time it is for you. Thank you for joining us for another day of action-packed matches here with the Lunar Colony. My name is Voats, your friendly neighborhood Jolteon, or just Tal if you prefer, joined by my partner in crime, Val, or more commonly known in our Discord server, John Bald. Last week, if you didn't see, we had some amazing matches. Big Balding Chads took on Dactylus, where it seemed like Dactylus had their number. Following on, we had Infinity Team duking it out with Pug Soon. We saw some classic King's Row action with the Ryan Zarya combo, which is still as lethal as it was a decade ago. And to close out the evening, I finally got to see some Emre play, which I was very happy about, with Team Value taking on For the Vibes. And it seemed like the vibes just weren't strong enough, with Team Value taking home the win. As for this week, we enter the next round of our Swiss stage. Val, what are we going to be seeing tonight? And for those of our viewers who haven't seen the style of play before, do you think you could give them a brief explanation of how this tournament's set to play out?
So we are now entering the second week of the Swiss stage, of which there are 4 weeks. And by the fourth week, the standings should be pretty clear and reflect the top 8 teams who are going to be qualified through to the playoff weekend. And tonight we'll be seeing 3 matches, starting off with Value returning to the scene, this time against Voats, who actually won their first match off a bye. And in this case, we have already addressed some past issues, and this VOD will be recorded, so you will be able to watch and clip anything back as you see it. On top of that, we'll be keeping you up to date on any matches happening simultaneously. There are a couple, and the scores and what that potentially means for our standings down the line. Last of all, the elephant in the room, since this is a 6v6 tournament, for those of you not very familiar with the style, we have obviously a cap on 2 tanks with the open queue rule set, and with the return of that, you get the return of some tank synergy in the form of the anchor playstyle to stabilize team comps, and you won't see as much skirmish style fights as in 5v5, where there are some pesky flankers on an angle and you just don't really have an extra tank to contest it, but now you do, it's back. And we're going to very much see that play out here.
Yeah, exactly. Very shortly, we will be getting on to our very first match, Voats versus Value. Val, we saw how good Value were last week. They really brought it in. It was a pretty decisive victory, actually. Do you think they're going to be bringing in any new strats this week, or do you think they're going to be just rinse and repeat, see if it works?
So Value last week, we saw some very, very solid shenanigans by Hebe on Cat. I had to reach out myself and say it was a very, very nice thing to see. We saw action from the new heroes. We saw some Domina, we saw obviously some Anran in there, but the Cat was the main thing for Value in this case, where they'd used the Cat to taxi a Sigma or someone who can hold an angle without being too far pushed out and just take advantage of the good space of the map. It was very strong. I expect to see some more of that today potentially, and maybe even some Mizuki, some Emre with the new buffs that are going to be live in this patch, of course. Emre was more played just to take the mirror and see how it was like, but Emre nowadays could be very, very strong and take on that primary hit scan role too.
Definitely. I will say, I don't believe we've seen any Mizuki yet in the tournament thus far. Do you think potentially one of our new supports gets some action?
So Mizuki is quite interesting. After the show match from OWCS, it became quite interesting in the sense that Mizuki, if you've ever played with Mizuki in ranked, which I'm sure a lot of people have at this point, you can understand that you don't get much healing off Mizuki. Even when it's amped to the max, it's very sustained. The big timing is much more to do with his hat, and he lacks some other aspects where a lot of supports could fill the job. But he does have his really solid value on the hinder. The chain is very, very good. The root can force out so much. It can be very, very good for anti-dive comps. And in 6v6, I've seen Mizuki played a lot in triple support comps actually, where he slots in as that third support with the extra healing, the damage, and along with the perks, he can be more like a Kiriko to an extent, or a Lucio with a speed boost. So there is a lot that can happen with Mizuki.
And of course, you mentioned there the potential of triple support. And with the rulebook, obviously we can't do goats, but we can do something similar. Enter Team Voats. What do you think of their concepts, their team plan? Do you think that could work?
I think that replacing the Ryan with Vendetta is really good,
Yes.
but it seems like we have our last player, and it seems we can get this show on the road. Map chosen first from our control tourney is going to be Samoa. It seems they've gone for.
Very fun. Samoa, of course, being added alongside Mauga. How long ago was Mauga added now? It's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, Mauga was 11 odd seasons now. Is it season 9?
Yeah.
Oh, more than that. Season 8, I believe Mauga was added. So we're on season 21. Okay, season 1 of the new
technically,
Overwatch,
season 1.
barring a couple of things. We could potentially see some Mauga. I don't think we've really seen either of these teams play that. Their styles lean more towards T on Winston and Ice on Zarya, the double bubble comp that was so nice to see last time. So we'll see what they pull out for this Samoa.
All right, yeah, no, 100%. Samoa, of course, being a control map, you've got that one focal point to get around. Unlike Flashpoint, where you're constantly moving around to get to different control points, control is just the one. Do you think that's gonna be easier for them, so they have one set location to set up fights? Or do you think that's going to create almost a tunnel vision effect of like, oh, we just have this one location, so...
So it'll be quite interesting depending on how their comps go. Now, Control, obviously, you have got 3 sub-maps within the main map as a whole. Samoa,
of course,
if you're thinking where potentially a bit more dive or a bit more double bubble rotation sort of thing can get going, you're thinking, I think Beach could potentially work for it. Now, in 6v6, as well as in the main game at the moment in 5v5, Poke has been incredibly strong, so depending on how people have been really faring with that in ranked and even some scrims, I'm actually expecting to see some Sigma, because Sigma is just so strong. Sigma can contest the angle really well, even better than the Dominant to an extent. It's just a fantastic hero, especially in 6v6. I've just received some news. It seems like both teams are currently picking their bans, so we will be heading in soon, but we'll just wait for some more info on that to come through. In the meantime, regardless of how this goes, we are very much looking at, because this is a first to 2, it's much more important that you win the next map. Otherwise, there's no point in thinking about a third map at all. So if the losing team, I think, is going to pick their strongest map and their strongest comp, the one that they're most confident and most practiced on. And for quite a few teams, I think I've seen Saravasa being the favored.
Okay. Is there any particular reason as to why people are leaning more towards Savarasa over New Junk, do you think? Or
I just think it's because Brawl is somewhat easier to play to an extent. I've seen a lot of that. We've gone through and received a ban this time. From the Voats team, they have decided to ban out Winston.
Oh, okay.
I think target banning T in this case.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And in response, the namesake has gone for Voats. No more Vendetta goats. Vendetta's gone. What do you do in this case?
That is pretty much main team plans immediately taken out the question. If you're an IO team here, now you've got to completely rejig the plan.
Absolutely. I think it won't be as bad for what you call it, value in this case. But it looks like we're heading into said map, so we're going to see if they've got a real adaptation for this.
Yeah. Hopefully we get some exciting gameplay here. Oh, we do see Boxy there on the Unrun. We haven't seen much of Unrun so far in the tournament. We've also seen Ralph there on the Vendetta, the Venture.
Venture, the second Ven, the one who's there first.
Yes.
I get more of a pokey comp coming up. Oh no, it's complete switch. It's Zarya Orisa.
Never mind. And as we get things underway here on the first point, let's see where things go.
Alrighty, opening up the fight, we've got Team Voats holing up in that middle side room. We're really looking over now. Eyes onto the on-run, quick dash in, lots of damage onto the on-run, hard stuck nade out. Boxy going through and just tearing up this Voats squad, so much pressure. Reedish does get a trade on the Diva, but it's quickly demeched, and that is a very quick first fight.
Oh, definitely, that was a gorgeous double kill there, opening up from Boxy. Just proving how devastating on-run can be.
The buffs have absolutely helped. We've got Team Voats now. Ana going for a quick play, making sure she's not caught out. And this time, going for a quick rotation elsewhere, looking where they can set up their engage.
Yeah, yeah. If I believe they might be going for a Silent there, trying to get some value. A bit aggressive, but it might be working for them actually. Yes, it does. T being taken down, closely followed by Rel. I think that might be enough to swing this fight in favor of value again.
Absolutely, it's still slightly going. It seems they're just cleaning up value here. Nif does get out on the Lucio. Boxy finally kills the baby diva, and it's going to be another quick reset. This triple support comp is really getting punished by these angles. It's finding it so hard to push out. It seems the Onran's doing a lot of work in this too. Very, very tough. And Rel, the anchor, the DPS who gets all the resources, is unfortunately picked pre-fight here. Just on the walk up, so much damage coming through main. Going to be keeping an eye on these ults now, even though Voats are building them up fast. Value have the chance here. We have got a Blade, a Rissa, we've got Onran ult, we've got so much damage coming in, and without this beat or rally, if they realize, it could be very, very dangerous. So eyes on this Blade now.
Definitely, definitely. Hopefully, we hear the Scorch of the Sky, anything coming out. And here comes the Blade. Are we going to get anything big from the Blade? Well, that's one. Potentially two.
It seems we're getting a second, and it's a full cleanup. Most certainly 100-0. Voats caught on the rotation. What a quick fight that was. Very nice on-run all in. The bubble you saw from T onto that made sure the on-run could stay and engage further. We saw the BAP do so much damage. Overwatch, I should say. Absolutely, the kill feed. Here are the stats for that first map.
Yeah, no, just you look at it straight away. Value there, every single one of them decimated. Only three deaths across the entire team there. Very, very impressive. And then unfortunately, Voats there taking a lot more. Hopefully they can turn it around. We go into round 2 here.
Absolutely, we're going to see if there's any sort of shake-up, and it's going to be greed on Ryan this time. Maybe going away from Zarya, leaning towards something a bit different. Unless walking up through main here, checking the angle. It's a full rotation for Voats, trying to flip the map, coming from behind. Nade out, sleep in, Greed's in so much trouble, but DM is good to make sure they're able to live through this. Venture goes in for another cycle, and it's Boxy who's caught. What a fight! Still going on, trying to stabilize here, make sure they don't lose any players. Eyes on this diva, looking to keep everyone safe. BAP goes down 2. Ana quickly follows. I'm just going to clean up this R a bit late as the cap goes through. And a bit of a stagger at the end onto T. What a turnaround for Voats here. Looking much
definitely.
stronger.
Yeah, no. And I believe we might have missed it there, but Ralph as well did a fair bit of damage with the Venture there as well. Venture, of course, working very well with Reinhardt, both being very brawly, melee kind of characters. Once you're in close, you're out. You're just out.
Absolutely. Now walking up through some DM exchange, shield low, Onran in, so much damage, and it's Boxy who's caught this time. The peel is good. The reaction to the Onran going in is perfectly dealt with, and this is where you see the effect of triple support, especially the Brig able to stabilize. Genji's trying to peel back, but it's Ralph who manages to catch the Ana. Deflect out, bubble forced. Still just forced back into this Ryan shield. You must feel the pain of the Zarya permanently shooting a shield. It might be a quick reset. Zarya stepping up, self bubble out, going for a blade. He dies for it. Going for this blade. We don't see a beat yet from Nif. It's not needed. Just a nano, and able to keep their distance. We've got a nano Venture ult out here. Nano tectonic. Back in, cycling through them, and this is so solid for Voats. Coming up to last fight territory, double support ult.
Yeah, no, and that is why that's just proof of how dangerous this team can be when it's working in their favor. We see T now switching over to the Sigma. Hopefully that's going to be enough for them, as we have I believe we're about to get the nano boost coming online as well. Hopefully that'll be enough. But straight away, we see the rally coming out and the window in response and the beat in response as well. All the support ults are coming out now. Is it going to be enough? I heard the nano, but I don't think it got much value, unfortunately. Oh, never mind. Oh, no. I say that immediately gets slept. Poor Orisa.
What a last fight. There was a lot going on in that last fight, so we'll slowly take our time to go through an early rally, just holding Bash at the corner, making sure that they really have to walk up and touch, which they do. There's a window to try and overturn it, but the beat so perfectly timed and with no real defensive support apart from the window. You see how Team Value gets collapsed on by Voats there. A very, very solid push, really good coordination. And you see how tough it was for Boxy that round. The first map, so much more open, but in that enclosed volcano, the Brig, the Lucio, the Ana, along with the Diva
100%.
DM, just made it so tricky. Maybe sticking to this combo of a couple swaps this time, coming from Value into our final point beach.
100%, 100%. Honestly, I'm surprised that the close range worked so much in their favor, to be honest, because I would have thought a Genji would have worked quite well in that situation, if I'm being perfectly honest. Being able to block so much concentrated fire.
Absolutely. So now Genji stepping up, looking to poke out a bit of the angles, using the Sig pressure to slowly step forward, slowly get that HP trade a bit better in their favor. Onran on point, forcing it out. And we really see how Voats struggles now. Oh, they're going forward, trying to collapse on the backline here, just moving straight forward with the amp speed, and it's so good. So good. Overview Watch is taken out with the Tron, is traded in the process, but it's getting messy, which is exactly where Value shines. But it's the Voats able to stabilize Ryan lives. Greed just about lives with the Lucio healing
The
and the
skin of his teeth. Oh, that was... Yeah, no, like I said, by skin of his teeth, Ryan barely able scraping through that. But, I mean, that's just proof. You keep the big shield man alive and it'll work. If you're Value, though, in this situation, how are you going to try and retake the objective here?
Well, you've got to be careful because you just saw what happened when you really split out and angle. If they, as long as they have amp speed, as long as they have the HP and the resources, they're going to just amp speed into your backline. Bap's going to get run over. But it's Lunar who gets caught on the Brig. What a kill by Xylem. Really nice flank, it seems. And without that Brig there to stabilize, just slowly getting forced back, and it's a nice, comfortable flip over there to Value. T farming up this Sig ult too.
As we're getting ready for a potential new fight, as Voats try and reconvene, it appears Relf is trying to go for a bit of a flank here, potentially. Oh, the beat comes out, and they're going full send. T getting absolutely shredded. Barely able to keep it up. No, never mind. The lamp just not enough there. Being taken down. Boxy then following up, taking down the Lucio. It's back and forth. Everyone's being taken out here. I think Voats just about able to switch that in their favor, though. Brilliantly done there.
You wouldn't really expect Beat to be farmed so fast, but in this comp where everyone's really stacked together and the AoE damage more helps them farm supports even faster, they can just cycle out really well. Lunar a bit slow on this rally, but this Nano with the Tectonic could be really good, or just a Nano Diva potentially to go and murder the backline in this case. Not really much Kiri can do after having TP force, but in comes the on-run ult, the Vermilion Inferno. So much damage, a lamp in to keep the damage going. Blade 2 bombs in along with the Orisa. So much is happening in this small room. So many trades on either side, but it seems that Value are going to win out on this one. Just a little stagger onto the Brig. That was a massive ult trade, but it seems like Value did ultimately get what they wanted here.
How many ults would you like? Yes, is the answer. Because, oh my god, it was back and forth, back and forth. As we look at the top here, we can see what was used. Orisa, Genji, obviously, as you mentioned, Anaron with the initial engage. We saw Relf there as well, the B go up, and a Diva nuke as well. That's a lot of trade just for one fight.
Eyes on this Nano. Here comes the Flux in response. Big Flux on the rotation. No rally in time to really keep everyone alive through, along with no beat. even though Nif is farming this very, very fast, but that cost, that was very expensive value, I'd say. Losing the Kitsu, losing the the window at the same time. This is a free rally, this shatter as well. As hard it is to hit these days, I'm going to be
Oh,
keeping
poor
an
Ryan.
eye on this Ryan. And this rally, very, very close to beat. We saw how the beat pushes go, and Voats have reset, looking to take another fight, maybe going under.
Definitely. And as we see going and engage with that rally, are we gonna, maybe there's gonna be enough to try and close the gap, allow for that shatter potentially?
The bash reset, Brig chasing, looking for something else. Lucio Nift looking so hard to try and farm, but isn't reach it on time. Shatter comes up, it's too late. Every single support has fallen, and the beat was not in time. 1-1, and it seems ultimately 2-1 as Value take this beach and this Samoa.
Yeah, once again proving Value runs supreme. As we look here at the leaderboards, God, that damage output, that is scary.
Absolutely, the play of the game here for Redish. We saw them do so much work on the Diva.
Yeah, that was, wow. Really, really incredibly done there by both teams. And as well, the just immediate, like, being able to switch plans like that, because as you mentioned before, they had this set plan, obviously, as you mentioned, you know, T on that Winston, Voats as well, the Vendetta play, and immediately that gets taken out, so they have to switch things up, and they switch up very, very well as well. Value showing how easy they're able to adapt and adjust on the fly, and it seemed like no matter what Voats did, Value just had an answer.
Absolutely, but I think we've really got to credit to Voats here. One, losing the Vendetta, which is obviously the main idea behind this comp that we've heard, but the Venture subbed in really well, and we really saw the Ryan adaptation. We saw Greed on Zarya, and it wasn't really able to get as much, but the Ryan, the big shield man, able to really bully the space forward, especially in those tightly enclosed maps, really benefiting from the Lucio speed. So it wasn't just getting rid of Vendetta. You switched out Vendetta, and you had Ryan and Venture take the lead here. We really saw that much more effectively. First map, kind of a role we can chalk up to nerves, not really so used to this kind of thing, but the second map, Voats look so much better. So I'm really looking forward to, with their map pick and ban pick, what we could potentially be seeing here. Because I would say you want to take another sort of very enclosed brawl map, something that's really strong where you can group up like that and get the maximum value out of your AoE heals.
Yeah, definitely. Do you think the trio support there was the play, or do you think that was more of a detriment?
I think we really saw the effectiveness of it. If you look at second map, which was the Volcano, Voats absolutely dominated that map. We saw Value try to get through, but it felt so hard. It felt so tricky. Genji would go in, Anran would go in to cycle them out, and guess what? They're completely fine. The Brig has just managed to hit the Genji. Lucio's booped out the Anran. The nade made sure they're stabilized really well, and the Diva DM has made sure they haven't even taken that much damage. If anything, you're just letting them farm support, ult charge.
But we did see as well, though, that Brig was struggling a lot in terms of ult charge, actually. Like, it seemed like when they needed it most, the rally just wasn't available.
Yeah, it seems the Brig has been struggling a bit. Nonetheless, we are going to our next map. They have chosen Flashpoint, and out of it, Voats has picked Suravasa.
Okay.
Suravasa, a very flexible map, I think. So what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, yeah, we saw Suravasa in week 1, and it was pretty decisive, I would say. Whenever we saw Suravasa come up, it seemed like it was just a single swing, and it was very difficult to kind of get momentum rolling, I felt, especially last week. Obviously, I think, if I remember correctly, it was Big Balling Chads that had the Suravasa map last week, and it didn't exactly go their way. And I think we might see that story being told again, except with Value and Voats here.
Yeah, I can see that. But now we are going to see that the Vendetta ban is out of the way. All of Voats going to stick to their guns. Or maybe this new adaptation with the Rhine is the real answer to Voats. Maybe to play a potential goat swamp, you need Rhine. You don't need the Diva or the Zarya. Maybe the Diva to an extent. And I think if you're Voats and you're confident in taking the Rhine Venture version or the Vendetta version, what is your ban going to be here? What would be best to take out?
Honestly, I would say anything that tries to slow down the momentum of Voats of this kind of pseudo goats comp. I think anything that would slow down that momentum would be a problematic pick. In my opinion, I would probably say getting rid of someone like Ana potentially, because we know how dangerous that Bionade can be. Obviously, you mentioned in previous conversations the damage that Zenyatta can throw out as well, but no, it seems we get the Lucio ban instead, which, again, that speed being nullified is a surprise.
I see. I think a slept-on tank that is very new is going to be dominant in how strong she is at dealing with a group-top comp, but here comes our bans. Value have banned Lucio, so that Lucio's taken out of the equation. No speed, no amp, no nothing. And in this case, it's going to be Voats who get the Orisa ban.
Yeah, no. Obviously, Lucio, then that speed being an essential part of that pseudo goats comp, because you need to be able to get in close and get that damage out as quickly as possible. So not having that extra speed, it might cause serious problems if they go for that kind of Rhine comp.
Absolutely.
It doesn't seem like we're going to be seeing that, though, as we look at the teams currently.
They very much stuck to something else. So I was going to say, with one speed alternative gone, you've left with the other, which is Juno, but that is much more used in bursts. You won't have the passive speed boost that Lucia has, of course. So we're going to see this Vendetta Voats comp come out, and on Voats' side, or on Value side, I should say, since there was a bit of a swap, we are going to see a very interesting comp of Monkey and Zarya double bubble here with an Ana Illari backline.
Yeah, very interested to see how this works out. Of course, Ralph now getting access to that Vendetta. Hopefully, we're going to see the damage and the lethality that they can do. And we're about to find out as Ralph immediately swings in to the back, taking down Ovi as well. And in response, Boxy getting a double kill on both supports. Value struggling as they're just being shredded. T now trying to polish things up against Reddish. I don't know if they're going to be able to get this one out. Just barely scraping by, maybe. Yeah, just about getting that reset in. Pretty quick kill there.
That was a very, very bursty fight. A lot of things happened super quickly, but we saw initially the Zarya Vendetta. There's a reason that's being banked and ranked, you know? Jumps onto your Illari. What can she do? She gets chased all the way to spawn. Now taking another step forward. Keep an eye on this Zarya. Keep an eye on this engage. They're going on the corner. Engaging them as soon as the Vendetta leaves, and it's such a good turn there. With the Winston cleave on the corner, on-run comes in, so much AoE damage. Star Bubble to make sure it goes well, and even though there are some trades here, ultimately this is much more favoring Value here. It was a really nice catch.
Yeah, that was a borderline instantaneous explosion there of deaths. Really, really well done there. Very decisive kill. Silent here now trying to poke a bit out, see if they can get much charge potentially, because we know how dangerous Zarya is at full charge.
Absolutely, but with winning these fights, we've got a Primal online. Brig down in the fight. Monkey zapping as best as they can. Voats have to touch the point. There are a couple trades. Ana and Genji Gun. Out comes the Primal, hands in the air, looking for the Juno, trying to juggle her at the sky. Can T hit the final juggle? T gets it. Quick little kill onto the Juno. A nice little bubble off on the Diva. Does she get the remake? Reddish gets it. This is a very much a dogfight, but the Ana taken down. Boxy doing so much work. Illari ult, Captive Sun out, gets so many people taken down, and ultimately, even though it was not very likely that they could win the fight, it is a C9 on the side of Voats.
Yeah, and notice though, I think they tried to keep that fight going as long as possible, because they knew realistically they were probably going to win that fight regardless. They wanted to try and burn out a bit extra resources there. Reddish obviously having to forced to use the remech nuke there pretty much, and then only responding with the ult of their own as well. Honestly, I think it could have just been a situation of, okay, well, we've lost this. How much value can we get out of this loss?
And out comes the grab, and it's massive blade onto it, trying to salvage. A Blade in response gets 3,
oh my
and
God.
a grab of their own. Can they turn this fight? It seems. I just thought Voats would have had it off that grab. Absolutely massive there by Greed. But the Blade in response, with no Ray to really match it or keep anyone alive. And the Brig rally just a bit too slow. What a turn there by Value, turning an almost unwinnable fight, in my opinion, to something really, really strong.
100%, just proving once again how dangerous Genji can be. If I say almost getting killed there, I swear I'm just, at this point, I'm just jinxing them.
What a nice turn there. Big on-run ult. I'm genuinely trying to struggle. I'm struggling trying to think of the name for said ult. Like Dragon Blade is very easy. On-run ult, I don't think I've quite learned that just yet. Nonetheless, eyes on Nif and Lunar. They've got this double support ult. We've got Rally and Orbital Ray. Only a primal in response. Could farm up to this Ilari, but it's going to be tough to kill through without some big cleave.
Well, they've done some severe damage before. Let's see if it's enough as we come out with the rally. But no, the rally gets shut down.
Did the rally get enough value?
Comes out.
And the map is, the point is flipped just before satellite vector to try and stabilize. Keeping an eye as the tuners get killed all around the world, but the bubble is there in time to make sure they've just about, they're still caught ultimately by T. This Winston's not going down without a fight. Does get their one in the end.
Monkey swing, monkey fight. Monkey unfortunately dies. Tragic there, but good effort though, T. Good effort.
I think we might be seeing a Nano Vendetta, a combo in rank which has been very, very strong with no real defensive ultimate. You know, Ilariel, as good as it is for killing people, out it comes on, and down goes the Nano Captive Stun in response, but everyone's solo. It's eaten! What an eat by Redisha and the Diva. Looking more to push forward, stabilizing here, making sure another bubble cycle comes out, trying to clean up these kills, but Ralph gets a bit too greedy. They're pushing around the corner, it's so much damage, still so tough.
Yeah, and they've pushed them back as well. I think they're just about going to be able to, yes, they are in fact going to be able to get that contest. I believe I heard a Blade come out there as well. Getting one kill there onto Hardstuck. Is it going to be enough as we hit it in OT? Ralph on his own, bless him. Just no, not happening. Team kill comes out and OT ticks over. That is going to be 2-0.
I think we really saw there how hard it is, I think, for this Voats comp to an extent to push around the corner, as with any comp without the complementary angle, but the way Value caught that was so good. I still think it was a bit expensive. Grav and Blade just gone like that. It's 99.99, but I get the urgency to touch. Nonetheless, taking another fight on this point. Greed has this grab. Could be a grab Vendetta roll. Out comes the grab. Not caught by anything. Lamp is good, but Zarya still falls. Reed is doing so good to catch this Genji on the corner, and it seems they're just gonna make sure there's no trades. But out comes T. Very nice kill on Diana.
I will say though, with Value now being able to reset, look at their ults. We've got a Monkey, we've got Nano as well. On-runs Phoenix as well.
Do you potentially see a Nano Phoenix? I've heard it one-shots when I checked out the numbers beforehand.
Maybe, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, on-run already does a lot of damage, so why not throw a Nano on top of that? As I say, the Nano comes out, this time on the Winston though.
So unfortunate there. Out comes a Ray turn to try and turn things around, but on a Brig dead in the backline, Juno gone, just left with Vendetta slowly trying to clean up, maybe get another trade, but out it comes. So close there for Lunar. Just a couple percent off. Rally didn't quite have it in time, and T gets to keep this primal, just winning off a Nano there. And an honor chucked in too.
Yeah, just, you know, why not? As we get things ready, T, they're hiding like a little gremlin. Hopefully, we're going to see some monkey business very, very shortly. For now, though, Ovi about to get that window.
Not scouted early, going in for some big cleave, but they've just walked forward with the rally. They've caught 3, 4 even. T doing his best to try and get a trade just like before, but out comes the Primal. Primaling the big old brig. Oh, it does catch the brig. A big turn going back in. Very tricky to catch any more kills into that. And Silent falls finally on the side. It can be very, very tough to recontest this, I'd say. 86%
Oh,
counting.
definitely. You don't think that was a panic there from T, do you?
It was a good trade, and Bap is fallen as the window comes out. So tricky. So much damage coming through. Out comes the Vendetta ult thundering from the sky. And it's 2-1. Voats take their first point. They're gonna have to reverse sweep this though, being 2 down.
Well, we've seen it happen before in the OWCS, so why not here? Never say GG until that finish screen is up.
Absolutely walking up through this little corridor here, keeping an eye out for this grab and blade combo potentially. Eye on the DM, making sure it doesn't get eaten just in case. Big grab, out it comes, not eaten. No need for a blade here, grab's good enough. Monkey cleave comes through. Maybe a quick reset for the 3 supports from Voats. They managed to get out potentially. And it seems they do live.
Slightly panicked there, I think, with Nif, but they got out in the end. And if your Voats out, oh, never mind. I can't even finish the sentence because Genji's coming out, but immediately gets shut down. Oh,
He in so much trouble trying to fight forward here, but it's done nothing but help Voats as their tanks respawn and manage to clean up this fight. It's a bit greedy there with that blade going in, getting instantly murdered. Silent does get the trade, but it's so tough.
Oh,
And it's going to be a very quick point flip back.
that was beautiful. I kind of feel bad for Silent there because we know how dangerous a Genji blade can be. So to get basically no value, kind of tragic, I'm not gonna lie. But Relf there responding with a beautiful kill though, just
Absolutely.
showing how dangerous he can be on Vendetta.
If you see the tech marks, there's going to be 5 ults for Voats, and out comes 2 immediately. Nano grab. Can they make sure there are no trades this time? It's huge. Relf getting all cleave. So much damage. Vendetta does enough damage these days, let alone the fact that she's nanoed and in a grab. You can't escape. Nice
At this point, just give Relf play the game. The dude's earned it. Oh my gosh.
Most certainly will be keeping an eye out for that play. We've got a Primal coming online. Nano in. Relf slept in main, but the peel is not good enough. A one-shot in. It comes on as traded quickly. Out comes the Honor ult. T going deep on his trade. Winston dies to the D.Va bomb. Massive bomb there. No chance to farm off that Primal, and Czar's just beaming down with the orbital ray. It's 2-2, I'd say. Silent doing their best is cleaned up. And even though Relf dies first, manages to come back to the point and celebrate the fact that it's now 2-2. Heading to our final flashpoint. Voats fighting for their lives in the series.
This is ridiculous. Incredibly done by both teams here. Neither one wants to let this go. As we rotate over to the final point, we're probably going to see one last team fight.
Nonetheless, we're heading back, and the rally is back.
And immediately gets used as well. Every ult's coming out by the looks of it. Is it going to be enough?
Rally
Lunar
into the
swinging
window.
in.
Nice early fight on the way to the next point. Secures it so well. It seems we get to see T live to see another day. Relf does get traded there, but the value was achieved, funny enough.
100%.
It's going to be first cap for Voats. It's going to be interesting how they cycle through this now.
Yeah, as that countdown was coming down, do you think Lunar was sitting there spamming the queue like, come on, come on?
As we hope to see it bubble, traded, self-bubble out, massive nade in, Reed is so low. Out comes the Primal for T looking for something, and gets the brig off the map, going in again. Out comes the blade, bubble on it, and Nano in response, but it's slept. A massive grab onto Relf to make sure that this Nano Vendetta isn't going anywhere and can't turn this fight around. big turn there by Value.
That was a sleep and a grab, I'm pretty sure, as well. They really did not want Ralph to get anything from that.
It might
Seems
be
a bit
Ralph,
personal.
and then Esso Venom, and Nano Vendetta is scary. Anyway, you go. Quick little bubble trade. Keeping an eye on this grab, potentially. Nano Ven out, so it's just going to be grab. Slept on the grab, but it's done its work. So much cleave onto it, a bubble and a bomb. They really don't want anyone escaping from this grab. Massive work there from Green.
We are good to go. Countdown comes in, and let's see if we can finish this match up. Ralph, they're getting a kill onto Boxy. No honor on for you, good sir. And the point goes to Voats here. Well, I say that. It's 52, but...
Okay, keep an eye on this Ray potentially. Quick bubble turn, Genji solo. Bubbled out. Here comes a Ray to push through even further. A window in response, and Greed is absolutely melted. So much damage coming through. Honor coming in with the nano, and the cleave is too good here. Trying to get maybe a quick reset from Voats, but will the Diva Honor be able to get out? I very much doubt it. Trying to maybe force a quick 99 to 68 here. Demect destroyed, and a quick nice fight there for Value. Last fight territory now. Eye on maybe a Nano Blade coming through. Lunar!
Oh no!
If it's Vipering one more time.
We're good straight away. Lovely stuff as we get things underway.
Okay, last fight territory. Looking for this Vendetta. This Nano trying to farm it quick for Voats here. Because a Nano Baptiste! In comes the Blade from Ralph! The Vendetta is so good! 99.99, and it's an absolute win there for Voats. Force has
Tragic.
Out comes an absolutely amazing final fight there. Being down in ults. I think Value just had to play it slower. You were so close to Blade. You had Nano. It's the pressure's on them to touch. You can cycle things out, but Nano Genji surely just wins that. If you push into that small room, then we just saw what happened.
And there we go. As expected, Ralph with the play of the game on Vendetta. Beautifully done, proving how dangerous they can be on La Lupa. And yeah, that's just proof that round one Vendetta ban was definitely worth it, because oh my god, dangerous as always.
Absolutely. Astounding things to see. Astonishing. I think I'm still in awe at that last fight. I feel like
100%.
It was well played by Voats on the catch, but I think if Value had just played it a bit slower, they would have gotten some more value.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, puns aside, no, you're right though, because right as we were unpausing for that final fight, they had the Ana, they had the Nano. They were about, I think, 87 if I remember correctly on the Genji. They were so close to a potential team winning Genji Blade, and we didn't get it. They just played, they went too fast for their own boots, so to speak.
Yeah, just a bit slower. It could have been a very, very different outcome. Nonetheless, we are going to a map 3. Whoever wins this wins the match, and the scores will be adjusted accordingly in our leaderboard. Now, we've had Control, we've had Flashpoint. If you are Value and you like to play this double support, this double flex support, I should say. We saw Bap Illari, we saw Ana Bap, we saw Ana Illari. Really leaning into these kind of maps. We have, I'm just saying, with the Winston, with the double bubble, and the double flex DPS here, I'm thinking if you are Value, you head to Jib. You just take them straight to Gibraltar. How does this Vendetta comp really fare on a very high ground oriented map, on a dive map? It's so tough for them, I think, to cross these open spaces, or even to cross the corners and contest height. You know, Ana gonna struggle, gonna have to sit further back, in which case the Brig is split, Lucio bands out the way, so maybe that can kind of help. But I think the Zarya would be gone. And even if you were Zarya Diva, it could be very tricky. I don't think it'd be finding nearly as easy or as effective on chip. is what I'd say.
100%. 100%. I mean, obviously, Vendetta does have a fair bit of maneuverability with that dash as well, so it could get some level of high ground, but compared to a Winston jump or potentially a Doom or something like that, is it really the same thing? Not particularly. I do think you're right in that. I do think you're right in that assessment. I think in this situation, Watchpoint Gibraltar, potentially like a Dorado, somewhere with a lot of high ground potential, could be the focus here, could be the play. Maybe if you want to go hybrid, something like Nambani, or, you know, a map with high ground still, but I'm expecting to see control. Not control, sorry. My brain isn't braining. You know what I mean.
Absolutely. So what I'd say in this case is, we've seen, even with the double bubble comp, we have seen them swap off Winston onto Sigma. Now, another map that is available in this rule is potentially Rialto for the more poke-oriented slash dive to an extent. We have had Jib, obviously very much dive. You can play a few other things on third point. First and second, mostly that kind of comp style. We also have Shambali for a very hard brawl. Now, if I were to see value go to Shambali, I would be very, very surprised into this Vendetta comp. I think they would thrive. I think it's tough, but they would thrive in my opinion.
Definitely. And as we wait to see where we're going, actually that's a fair point. Push is still up for grabs. But no, you called it correctly. We are in fact going to Watchpoint Gibraltar. As you mentioned before, a very high ground orientated map, especially in those first 2 points. Do we think we're going to see any major team shakeups?
I think there's a diva ban available here. If Reedish isn't able to do what Reedish did on a diva here, it could be very, very different. I'm thinking if you want to play the Zarya and you don't want them to really have the ability to just nerf all the damage that's incoming with the best peel tank in the game still being diva, I would go there, ban diva, and therefore protecting Winston and my tank line. And I'm happy with the backline trades because I get to play Bapilari, I get to play Bapana, or even a Brig if they go for more of a dive. But if honestly, more comfortable in double flex support, I'm just going to shoot them as they come through. And one Zarya bubble only has so much health on a single Vendetta. With no diva to follow up, I think this could be the Vendetta Voats comp real issue here, the struggle to deal with high ground maps. I could entirely be wrong, but this is just a theory.
A game theory. No, but
not a Chris theory, that is another theory entirely. My theories are totally absent.
They're not theories, they're fact.
I was going to say, what would the response ban be here?
Honestly, I'm not sure. If we're expecting to see, as expected, that diva ban, as you so accurately thought, honestly, I'm thinking something that can also, that's very high ground reliant. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we saw potentially a jetpack cat ban, in the sense of being able to maneuver so easily and get a less maneuverable tank, like for example a Zarya up to high ground. That could be an option. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw jetpack banned. But no, instead we see the Arnon. Wow.
I think the
Arnon and
interesting
Diva.
ban. We really saw the effects of Arnon. So the Arnon with the Winston, the sheer amount of AoE damage was astounding. As we head into our final map for this match between Value and Voats.
Yeah, and of course,
be leaving you for a couple minutes, Ultali. Good luck.
All good, all good. Of course, because of some connection issues, we did get a sub in there. BT now taking the place there of the Brigitte. We do see Ralph hiding out top. Might be going for an early dive, potentially. Let's wait and see. But as we get things underway, hopefully... Oh, okay, Ralph is going to spawn camp on the door. Bubble immediately coming out there. Just farm up a bit of damage, potentially. T going in for the immediate jump down, taking down Ralph. Back to spawn you go, buddy. Boxy falling pretty close to depth, but just about scraping it by. And it appears that they are gonna get through this. Oh no, an immediate dive again. T going in, taking Boxy very close to death again. Obviously, Lucio, they're trying to do what he can to push them back with that boot. We do see T, though, sneaking around in the background. Ralph getting the great kill on Obi. Dropping very low, though, in as a response to that, though. Boxy going for a dive of their own. Is it going to find much value? I don't think it will. Silent taking down Ralph, but immediately being traded by Redish on the Reinhardt. Both Zarias going for a fight there as well. Silent not unfortunately getting the upper hand, being taken down. It appears that fight is going to be in favor of value here.
Absolutely, I'm back to give you a hand here this time. Nonetheless, I think the Ryan variation is quite interesting. Moving over to the Vendetta as the unarmed man, having a mirror hit is very strong. Nano coming up first for Hardstuck. Out comes the Nano Ven, looking who they can catch, but have they even got anything to go in? The CD wasn't there yet. Looking who Ralph can slash it, so much damage, but does get out Lamp, not much else there. Forced, trying to farm up to this rally. In again! Just about gets out, and it's T who's caught underneath by Redish on Ryan. Quick collapse, making sure we don't take too much damage. We've got our Brig sub coming in, a newly signed member, doing so well. A quick rally to the side. This Vendetta Voats comp is doing a lot better than I thought it would.
Oh, most definitely. Very, very dangerous. But to be fair, Boxy on response of the Vendetta, though, also pulling out a fair... Okay, every time I've mentioned something to do with Boxy, they've died immediately after. I'm sorry, Boxy.
You might be cursing them. Primal out, Nano in afterwards, but the grab on the Nano Monkey and a quick Sundering finishes off T there. We're going to have to see Value take a quick reset here. That was a potential Nano Blade. Gone. A beat push by Nif? What are we beating, Nif? What do we see?
Oh.
Oh, goodness. Maybe a fat finger potentially.
No.
This is going to be very tricky for this Blade now. We're going to expect a big shatter from Redish as best as they can do it. But out comes a grab. Bubble is good, but the poor Rhine is fallen. No shatter this time. Nice little deflect. Vendetta Voats managed to get a trade. Thank you, Greed. Nade in, so much clean. Nano onto the Zarya, trying to keep her alive and make this recontest possible. Self bubble still available. Out comes the Sundering on the corner. Shatter comes out, but it's too late. The Shatter Jax. Oh my goodness. What an ult there. High Epoxy and first point is all but secured. Rolf doing his best on the Ven, but there's just nothing left in the tank.
Yeah, no, a huge triple kill there by Boxy as we go into the second point. 2 minutes 40 on the clock. They're just chasing him into spawn. This is bullying. This is cyberbullying. Boxy, what are you doing?
Stagger this Brig and deal with them effectively. Not very happy with being bashed all the time, I'd say. A nice little trade here, but T's in so much trouble. Lamp forced. Can they get a trade on Redish? They do. It wasn't T who was in trouble, it was the Rhine, I've got to say. Now looking for a nice forward hold here on the height. Silent bubble is good, but the collapse is even better. Brig does get her revenge on that venture, I'd say.
I was about to say, yeah, switch over to the venture now. Maybe that'll be better for them as Ralph takes down the Ana. And then quickly following up with Boxy as well. I believe that's going to be in favor of Voats.
Absolutely, you can really see the effectiveness of just having this this Vendetta in close to such supports who really don't have the ability to really get out. Zarya, where is my Zarya? Hiding in the corner, trying to go for a flank play. Silent does their best, but it's going to be another reset without the bubble here. Can't really force all that much. T trying to take a bit of space, but in good LOS, getting the support. But you've got to remember there are no hit scans, so this backline can play a bit more freely without being punished from range.
But Ralph with the ult potentially. Oh no, Ralph going in with the ult, but nobody home. Unfortunately, Overwatch getting revenge there. Vendetta trying to push them off the high ground. Venture, my bad. As by the looks of it, Venture being taken down. It's too much. See, popping at the primal. Just trying to swing, get anything they can. Dropping very low. Lucio gone. I think that's going to be enough at this point, potentially.
I think there might be just enough people alive to maybe go for... Oh, it's going to be very rough. It'd have to be a very desperate feat here. And it seems like they're not going to go for it. They're going to go for a reset. I'm hearing a grab onto Redish. That's got to be a hate crime. That poor Ryan. Either he didn't get the memo or they just decided, nope, we're not having it anymore. I've had enough of your shit.
Ryan. I will say though, Ryan Redish coming back though with 98, 99 on the Earth Shatter. Hopefully we're going to see that in this next fight. Ryan also being very dangerous with how quickly you can build up Shatter. But no, Ralph goes in for the dive, gets nothing. A pretty big Shatter there, taking down Ana. Oh, the triple kill there as well. Gorgeously done, as T just about is able to sneak out of that silent, getting pinned as well. And I think that's going to be all she wrote for that team fight. Gorgeously done there by Redish.
Really nicely done. You also saw the grab there from Creed coming out. Really nice in the corner. Maybe a bit greedy, so to speak. I find it a bit tricky. In comes the Nano Monkey. Engage, bubble out, getting so much cleave, farming up this primal. Got to be careful with the anti here. T does get through and kills the Ana. Rallies in place, Nano's out. B as well, triple support ult. Very, very expensive fight here. Are they able to really capitalize much? What a pin onto Winston here by Redish. But they're fighting in the enemy spawn and it seems like it's still willing through the power of their support ult. Redish gets 3 on Orion here. Unbelievable plays.
That's ridiculous. As we start to approach final fight territory, 20 seconds on the clock. On that final corner, isn't gonna be, do you think they have enough to push around that corner? I don't think they will.
Cass.
10 seconds left on the clock. Foxy with the ult, seeing if they can go and get anything. Are they? They get 2! A massive double kill there. Triple. Oh, the Earth Shatter comes in response. I think that's going to be all she wrote. Potentially, they might be able to get one final touch.
Overtime spawns in. They should be able to get a touch. It's going to be very tricky, but they do have a Vendetta coming back with ult. Going to be very tricky to stay on this cart. Gotta be careful. Asleep here. Out comes Ralph. Respawns are good. Zarya's in so much trouble. Grab is big, but Zarya falls. Out comes the Vettel, and it's a C9.
Oh no.
I say C9, but what a push there. Not a full cap, but astounding plays on each and every point there by both teams.
Yeah, no, I mean, close enough to a full cap. Look how close they got. Beautifully done there by both teams. Really, really well done. How do you think they're going to respond here? Because that was... wow.
I think it'll be very interesting to see that. I was wrong about Voats comp. Maybe it's the lack of a hit count in either side that is also changing this and affecting this in some ways, but I believe this will be a very, very solid attack to watch. They did really want the defense here, Voats. Can they push through on the attack? Is it going to be very different without having that space initially?
We'll have to wait and see. There's Avenger here on the Baptiste. We see, we see as well the Sigma and a certain railgun.
Any chance that includes forgetting about
that yeah, we've seen how dangerous that can be before, so we'll have to wait and see if they can get much value out of it.
I think I have enough time to grab a pizza, to be fair.
All right, well, as my partner's going to get their pizza sorted, it'll be just me for a moment as we get things underway. Ralph, seeing if they can get much value, see if they can get a good angle. Going for the high, but unfortunately nobody home. T dropping pretty low. They're trying to fight in that corner. So much damage being pushed down onto that Rhine shield as Ralph goes in for the dive, but nobody home, gets taken down there.
That was a really nice catch there by by Asylum, as well as Value. We're finding it very tricky to walk now. With all these angles, with all this pressure, the Sigma swap I think is very, very strong here. Really enables the Bapillary backline here.
Yeah, no, obviously we see there as well. Both, before I can even finish sentence, both Vendettas seemingly having an answer against the enemy team because they're just not seemingly finding as much as they want here. They're getting kills, yes, but they're being taken down just as quickly. Speaking of, T taking down Reddish as well there.
We're really seeing how, even though they have Ryan's Area and they're able to walk up, they're taking so much damage on these rotations. They have to go through such long pathways and the poke is so strong. The hit scan adaptation of Sojourn, I think, especially into the triple support comp, with the Soj E, with the disruptor shot, can be very, very dangerous.
Definitely, definitely. But then with Sojourn, you also have to ask, like, do you want the slowdown buff on the disruption, or if you want the extra charge damage? But before it, wow, and lots of back and forths going on. Both Vendettas trying to duke it out. Unfortunately, Voxy getting taken down. Ralph, I think, soon to follow potentially. Oh, that health is very low.
Absolutely, but I think the trades are so good here, we'll finally be able to see some car push.
Yeah, maybe.
Down, and this time, able to take the forward positions. Got this rally, got this nano. Keep an eye on Regis for this shatter, been really good for it. But I think Nano's most likely going into something like the Vendetta, like we've seen before. Able to reach the rest of the team. Out comes a rally push. Massive flux and response, and it's huge. The rally keeps them alive just in time. The Nano's out on is traded, but the value is achieved here. A massive shatter to maybe secure this final bit.
Oh no. Ralph Asylum being taken down.
Thundering. Nif locked in the corner with the Winston. T gets his ones there. And looking for a final touch, maybe a recontest and a lamp. Gotta kill the lamp to get rid of this Winston. Out goes the lamp and quickly followed by the Winston, but the shield is low. Asylum will an overclock flank. Grab is massive. And just about, even though there were heroics from Value, I think that is going to be first point fully capped. Just as it is.
Yeah. Beautifully done there. Close but no cigar. If Asylum was the tiniest bit closer, they would have been able to hold it, but unfortunately, just not close enough. A really good try there, though, with the overclock. Do you think that might have been a panic use, or do you think that was a good use of the ult? Because we know how dangerous overclock can be.
I think that was such a fantastic fight. If you were going to recontest, you needed it. Nonetheless, T taken solo, and T's so good. Lamp is gone. Winston's completely out of the fight, for now at least. Able to take the spaceport. Gotta care this beat engaged. Everyone's so close. Here comes the beat up, low HP Nif. My goodness, sleep is good from hard stuck. And that is a very, very quickly snowballed second point. Fantastic work here from Voats. Gonna have 2.5 minutes now to push to the end of third.
Beautifully done there as well.
Looking pretty even for both teams, though you could say an edge is being given to Voats here. Reedish and Greed doing so much work here on the Ryan's Zarya. And Ralph getting advantage of the bubbles.
But T switching over to the Malga though. Foxy's well on the Emre. We'll have to see if that provides enough improvement in value. The Symphony comes out. Is it going to get anything? They go for the sneak, but misses as Zarya gets taken out. The rally as well. A triple there from Ralph.
It's an Alari's captive Sunjax.
Oh my goodness. We saw them invest everything there because they're at the space where this is so dangerous. There could be a full recontest here. T still sticking them out. Got to be careful. Gonna have heroes who can touch last fight territory here. Gonna have to be so careful. Using so much stomp in. Cardiac out. Voats is caught on the exit. Nice rail onto the Nif. Lucio down. Trades a good. Redish is caught too far forward. And it seems Value have stabilized. Looking to catch anyone else here. Value live to see another day.
Barely
Still
though, look
literally
at
in
that.
1
Less
territory.
than 3 meters away. And 2 minutes 10 still on the clock. That was dangerously close. Could have been all she wrote.
Okay, we've got to be careful if we're Value here. We're on a Queen Mauga comp. We've got the OC. The nade is good here. Gonna be looking to step forward. OC is gonna have to be really good from Silent because you're looking at what a pick there by Overwatch as well as the OC. Overwatch, I should say. Looking to take another reset, but these support ults what I'm really scared about for Value now. The rally, the beat, the nano, the grab even.
Yeah.
What are they gonna
All
do for this
coming
last fight?
online with 1 minute 30 still on the clock. This would, in theory, be more than enough to win this as the nano comes out onto Ralph, as does the bubble. The grab rather. I think that's going to be enough. Just destroying, cleaving through everything. The beat drop there as well, just to confirm it. I think that's going to be all she wrote. Potentially. Yeah, that's going to be it for this one.
Wipe. And map 3 goes to Voats in a reverse sweep. 1 down initially. Looking really competitive on the Suravasa. Managed to take it, and finally, this jib has been absolutely amazing. GG's to both teams.
100%. Really, really well done there. Of course, the player of the game going to Reish on the Reinhardt. Again, really, really well done. That was, and then the pin there just for a bit of BM. Really, really well done there by both teams. And honestly, yeah, I can't wait to see what these guys bring later on in the tournament. Of course, Value winning last week, but not enough to bring it home this week. If you're Value, where are you going to go from here, Val?
So if I was Value, I'd, for one, be really proud of that match. That was an incredibly close game. I, for one, wasn't entirely sure whether it'd be that close, to be fair. I've seen a bit of Value, I saw a bit of Voats, and I was like, I'm not sure how these teams match up against each other, especially when the bans come in, but what a match. One of the best ones for us to stream, actually, and amazing work. Amazing work from both teams. I'm still left in awe at such level of Overwatch. Such good plays. So, I think if it comes to picking an MVP here, there are 12 people in said lobby. Who would you give it to? Who would you give it to? If we're deciding one for both teams, which I'm quite happy to do, what are we thinking?
If I'm gonna be honest, and this is a slight bias because I've really enjoyed Vendetta whenever I've played her, I've honestly kind of got to give it to Ralph, because every time there was that Vendetta duel, Ralph was just decimating. Of course, you know, Voxy, very, very good quality in all fairness, but yeah, I've got to give it to Ralph, I would say, at least
Absolutely.
for the votes.
Very happy with that. I'd give mine to T. I'd love to talk a bit more, but since we've got another match coming up soon, we're going to head to a short break for a few minutes, maybe about 5 minutes, and we'll have everything else sorted in that time to set up the game in the lobby, everything else of that sort. Don't go anywhere, stick around. I'll finish my pizza this time, and we'll see you very, very soon for the next match.